Hey there, Game Videos. Going to do a video on Rift. Now, this is a game that I've played since it actually was, I believe, in beta, and I also played it live for a little while. So I do have a character that is level 34, but let's go ahead and create a new character just so we can kind of see what the character creation is like. You go for Defiance, and let's just do kind of a human-looking thing. And let's choose a mage, just because mages are cool. You kind of get an idea of what the character will look like as it progresses in levels, which is kind of cool. I don't think there's many other games that actually do that. So you can do low level, mid level, and high level to kind of get an idea of what your character is going to look like. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a summary as to what the different classes that you can choose from are. Now, don't let this fool you, because Rift is a highly customizable game where you have the ability to combine all kinds of different trees to make a character that more than likely doesn't have another counterpart. Like, there's not going to be anybody else running around with your soul tree unless you want to do like kind of a cookie cutter build. So let's just choose a sage that's a healer. So that sounds cool. The character creator is really pretty amazing. You can do just all kinds of nifty adjustments, all the different facial features that you can kind of scroll through a little bit here. Scale the eyes, rotate your eyes to look a little Asian or not Asian, whatever the heck the opposite of that would be. Let's just kind of go in the middle, that's fine. Different eyebrow shapes. Change your nose, be a big fat nose or small little skinny Michael Jackson nose, and change the tilt of the nose. So you can be upturn or downturn. Yeah, it's just gonna go right in the middle. Change the size of your mouth. Let's go for a little small mouth. And change hair color. Let's go for some purplish violet looking hair. Why the hell not, right? Different highlights that you can give to your character. Let's go for some light highlights. That looks cool. And you can color your markings if you have any. Let's not do markings. I'm not really a big fan of having markings. And you can change the color of makeup. I don't have any makeup on right now, but now let's give her some makeup. Ooh, that's cool. Right there. That's good. Skin color. Let's lighten her up a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of weird looking. Go for the height of your character. It looks like it's... yeah, you can go almost like a foot in either direction. Let's make her a small chick, though. Try that. Ah, there we go. So that's the character creation. I just wanted to kind of give an idea of what the character creation looked like, so that way you could see how many different options there are. And it's pretty heavily customizable, which is pretty cool. We're going to skip out of that cutscene.
Use the WASD keys to move your character.
And obviously, you know, you got the typical movement, which is definitely a good thing, because the last thing that you want to do is go into a game only to find out that you have to learn a completely different control scheme because they're trying to get a little creative with the control mechanism, and that just drives me crazy. So I'm glad that they stuck with the typical movement. And the tutorials are pretty good. As you step through it, it really kind of eases you into how to play the game, which is nice. Most games these days do have tutorials that kind of walk you through how to play the game. Some do it better than others, and I haven't actually rolled a new tune on this in a long time, so I don't remember if the tutorials are a little bit too hand-holdy, or if they're just right, or they're not enough. But if memory serves me, when I did roll a new tune, it seemed like it was pretty spot on with where it needed to be to kind of ease you into the world. So this is the starting area. And you don't really, if I recall, you can't exit the starting area until you either reach a certain level or complete a certain quest, something along those lines. And you start out with, you know, the typical beginning quest where you got to go either kill or gather or whatever to advance. And the nice thing is that, you know, with a lot of other games that are out there too, it kind of follows the same thing where enemies aren't necessarily aggressive, so you don't have to worry about wandering out into a starting zone and get mobbed by, like, you know, 50 NPCs that just kick your ass without even giving you an opportunity to figure out how to play the game. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of this character and go ahead and log into my other tune instead. It'd be nice if they gave you kind of a countdown letting you know how long you had before you can log back in, but whatever. So this one is a rogue that I leveled up a little bit here. Level 34 rogue, Defiant. And there are a lot of things that I really enjoy about this game that kind of follow the typical MMO standards, where you have right click to mouse look, left click is to select and engage enemies. You got your hotbar where you can drop all your skills into it. So it's pretty straightforward when it comes to gameplay, which again is a good thing. The last thing that I want is to have to go into a game and figure out their bizarre control scheme and their weird UI. It just instantly turns me off to a game if I can't go in there and use the typical pattern that all other games pretty much use. And I know people want to have their game not feel like other games, but you also don't want to have a game that's just such a far departure from all other games that you've played that it feels unnatural to play it. So it's definitely good that they went with that. But enough about that. There are some things that are kind of goofy about it. For one thing, it's a free-to-play game, meaning that you're inevitably going to have to visit the store at some point in time in order to unlock certain features or to obtain items that really you could probably get away with not using. But if you want your life to be easy, you would want to go ahead and purchase them. And there's all kinds of other games that take that sort of approach. Like Lord of the Rings Online is a great example, where the store, you don't have to buy things from it in order to play the game, but in order for you to really enjoy the game, you kind of have to. I mean, you're limited with your gold, and you're limited with all kinds of other things in that game. And I don't know if they have limits on currency in this game or not. When I played initially, it was not free to play. This is one of the games that went free to play. Didn't start out that way, so I don't know what changed between paying to free to play. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of combat here. You got before I do that, let me see if I can't bring up the soul tree, if I can remember where the heck. There we go. So this is your soul tree, and the nice thing about this game is the way that you can customize your character. Like I was saying earlier, you only have 6 classes to choose from, but within those classes you have the different soul trees where you can spec into all kinds of different souls, I guess is what they're called. And I don't remember how many different souls there are. I remember if there's only 3, or I'm almost positive there's more than that. Basically, you have a set number of points that you can spend, and depending on what you want to build and customize, you just start spending those points in that particular tree. Like this one, I kind of went with more of a saboteur, where it's lots of grenades and bombs and crap like that. And then chose when I had leftover points, or just didn't make any sense to go much further up in the trees, I spent it in a couple other areas to kind of get some other abilities. So as you advance into a tree, they unlock either new abilities automatically, or unlock passives, or make the existing abilities stronger. And that is really pretty damn cool. So like right now, I have my damage dealer spec on. But if I wanted to, I could go into the soul tree and change my role to like a healing guy instead. So this right here is my healer, which I haven't done anything with. You can instantly go to like a healer just by switching your role. And I don't remember if that is something you can do on the fly while you're in combat. I'm pretty sure you can't. So anyway, saboteur, you just kind of, I'm using these grenades where you kind of stack a bunch of different grenades on your target, and then press detonate, and that blows up all the blast charges that you stacked, which is kind of a cool thing. It also has like ground target AoE effects that you can do. So like I can snag those dudes with some of those AoEs. Now they got some dots ticking away on them. All in all, it's pretty cool. Graphically, I mean, the game looks really nice. And this is not necessarily a super old game, but it was released a few years ago. But that said, it still holds up pretty well. And one of the central features of this game, let's take a look at the map here, is, you know, it's called Rift for a reason, and that's because there's all kinds of different rifts. So like you can see here, there's a death rift that's active. They're basically a public quest where everybody can join in and try to defeat the rift and close it. And I don't know why I'm not on a mount. Again, I haven't played this game in a while, so doing some silly stuff. And here we can see this is a death rift. And the way that the system works for rifts is it's all contribution based. So basically the more active you are trying to defeat the rift, the more contribution you get, the bigger the rewards you get. Which is the way that it should be, honestly. And as you can see, the stage is complete. That's one of the interesting things about this game, is that the rifts have different stages. So as you achieve the different goals of the rift, the stages advance until you've beaten the end boss guy of the rift, and then the rift gets sealed. Not sure what this means. Oh, did we seal it? Yes, we did. Alright, so I guess we won. And these are all my rewards that you get, so. That is a rift, and there's all kinds of different rifts. They have like life rifts, earth rifts, fire rifts, all kinds of different rifts. And that is the reason why the game is called Rift. This is one of those MMOs that released and really didn't have hardly any problems at all at launch time, which, if you know from other new games that were released, other MMOs that were released, there has been other MMOs that were just disasters when they went live, and this is not one of them. So yeah, try it out and, you know, see what you think. And this is Game Videos signing off.